Well, well, well. If it isn't my enraged femboy baddies ready to take an axe to all these basic bitches trying you in the corporate workroom, I see you, I feel you. Hello, hi. My name is Christopher Valentine, but you can call me Chris. And I talk about the things that interest me. And today, it's none other than the queer feminine rage. More specifically, hyperfeminine men and our rage. Because, you know what? Talking about rage, actually, I'm almost about to crash out right the fuck now. Because this little lip combo I did, I stacked some glosses because the first one wasn't giving. Avi had to do the next one. And it is burning my lips to the point where I'm wondering, do I have to go to the hospital? But obviously, if I have the question in my mind, I don't. Because you know when you have to go, right? You do know? Anyhow, I really wanted to talk about this for a minute, actually. And because I get to speak extemporaneously in the comfort of my studio, I finally have that opportunity. And you know, usually I'm talking from a very specific lens of being a hyper-feminine, presenting man or whatever, or dipping into that, because depending, you could see me and be like, it's not hyper-feminine, whatever. But, you know, being on the other side of the gender expression binary or spectrum, whatever, I have definitely noticed that people do not take our anger seriously. Obviously, this is about rage, and rage is a whole other level, which is when you're truly on the verge of mental collapse and ready to take the world down with you. And baby, I've done it. And I do not condone that kind of behavior. Neither will I say that it did not provide some semblance of catharsis. However, very unhealthy, very bad, very no bueno. And one of the ways that you can most send us into this kind of dizzy is by not holding space, holds the finger, wicked, for our rage or our anger. Again, let me be clear about phrasing here. Our anger. You know, I'm sure you've seen it before and I'm sure you haven't given a fuck. And if you're like me, as opposed to a supposed ally, it's not that you've seen it, it's that you've experienced it. And sometimes it's not even that you get upset and share it with someone. It's a lot of times that you've internalized the idea that you're not allowed to be upset because no one will give a fuck, or you'll even get made fun of. Now, one thing about me, I claim the space I'm in every single motherfucking time since I was a child. You're gonna treat me with respect, whether you like it or not. No, you might not like me, and baby, I don't give a fuck about being liked, but you will respect me. Bare minimum, basic bitch. Bare minimum. And so I can't say that I've had the same kind of issues with this as everyone. And obviously, all of us have different variants and variations of this experience. But I can't say that I've encountered it. You know? You get angry and speak in a tone that's very clear that you're angry and people brush it off or they laugh in your face. And for me, one of my quickest reactions to people pissing me the fuck off is cutting your ass off and you never having access to me ever again. Because why would I waste my time? It takes 5, 10, 15 plus years for people to significantly change into whatever, hopefully better versions of themselves. So why would I think that your random basic ass could do something like that in the matter of seconds when you've just proven that you don't have the emotional capacity or intelligence to understand and respect my negative emotions? That just don't make no sense. The math ain't motherfucking mathin'. But I hold space for us, divas. I hold space for our rage and our anger. And I think that it's a really unique experience for the rage to blossom out of a understanding that you are an object or a thing instead of a person to the majority of the world that you live in. And I think that it's even more interesting as I talk about it a lot, and I don't know the order of these episodes, but you'll see that as I talk about it a lot. The order of the episodes that I'm putting out. I don't know the order of these episodes I'm putting out, to be clear. But it's something I talk about a lot, which is the ways in which marginalized people internalize the expectations placed on us by society at large, which is heteronormative, patriarchal, white supremacist capitalism. I'm like, what's the last ism? Yeah. The ways that we reflect that, the ways that we enforce that. And so much of what we're taught is self-policing. Like how I mentioned earlier that it's not necessarily someone isn't taking you serious. It's that before you even get there, you will stop yourself and suppress your anger or your negative emotion so that you don't have to deal with it being rejected by others, or even worse, minimized by others. And I am a little, we're all different. And for me, if I'm in that situation, it's not that I'm worried you're going to make me feel bad, because I just quite honestly have a very fucked up perspective on people and don't give a shit what anyone thinks, because I think most of them are fucking morons. I know most of them are fucking morons. So for me, it's not like, oh, you're going to hurt my feelings. For me, it's you're going to make me even more angry and I'm going to have to chop your fucking head off. And I can't do that because I need this job or whatever it is. This opportunity, this space, this community, whatever, but I hold space and respect and honor the hyper feminine rage of everyone tuning in right now. Okay? All 5 of y'all. My besties. I really, really respect it. And I really, really honor it, because I know that it can be really painful to be dismissed. I mean, obviously that's our shared experience, is no one ever wanting to take you serious, because obviously being hyper feminine on a male form is deemed as not just unserious, but dangerous, perverse, volatile, etc., etc., etc. And I recognize more than anybody that the culture has shifted and moved forward quite a bit. But as quick as things change, or let's just stick to old adages here, the more things change, the more things stay the same. On the surface, so much of the acceptance of the queer community and hyperfeminine male bodies and men has improved on the surface. It's become better by virtue of money. To be quite honest with you, if you really want to keep it blunt, it's just the fact that we have found spaces where we are the best at doing the thing, and so we can make a lot of people money. Hollywood. Now, we can't be the stars. Oh, no. We have to get old Jack back, whatever, straight gate, whoever, to play this hyper femme man, and not convincingly, but convincingly enough for the straights, who are the real target audience, right? You don't get to be the star. We don't get to be the star. But we could help the star. We can help other bitches to shine. We can do their makeup, and we can do their hair, and we can style them, and we can turn them into superstars. But we don't get to be the superstars. Oh, no. How dare we? And again, I do think this is changing. I do think this is progressing. But it's never good enough until it's good enough. And the only good enough here is eradication of stupidity and bad behavior, such as dismissing gay, hyperfeminine rage. Not a cute look. I also want to talk about how poisonous rage really is. I mean, it really, you can taste it the way I'm tasting this absolutely toxic lip gloss on my tongue right now. It just becomes all-encompassing. It's so uncomfortable and it's so overwhelming, and you don't feel like you're drowning in water. You feel like you're drowning in fire, because that's obviously what rage feels like. It's adrenaline. It just spikes through you. The cortisol of it all, honey. And what I came to realize the older I got, rage is really a foundational element of who I am. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just recognizing the reality of the situation, okay? Rage is really foundational to who I am. Like, don't play my motherfucking face. Because we could go at it. You're never going to be better than me, and I'm not better than you. Hence, I expect the same treatment, bitch. You fucking cunt. I am just as worthy, just as valid, just as all the things as you. So why are you trying to sit up here like you got something over me? Because that's what the world told you? Bitch, you can't even add. You don't even know how to read right. You don't know half of the vernacular that I'm using. I bet you don't even know what I just said right now. You just on here hate typing away. Let me stop calling that into my orbit, because I don't even believe in this whole, like, the haters. Gotta show the haters. Like, bitch, who are your haters? Shut the fuck up. Until your hater is systemic oppression, like, just sit your ass down. But anyways, I think that without being an extremely rageful person, I wouldn't have learned a lot of the lessons that I learned. And it's not the corny, like, turn your anger into fuel. Like, that doesn't work for me personally. I don't operate from a place of, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Bitch, ain't nobody ever doubted me, because I'm just too confident and have actual self-esteem. Also, no one's ever told me to my face, you can't do blank. Why would you ever be able to blank? Because they know that I'll fucking do something in response that will teach them not to engage with me in that very unbecoming way. I'm on the internet and I have to watch my language. However, the girls don't play with me like that, and they definitely don't be playing in my face. So it's not about ever showing people anything. I don't really give a fuck about proving anything to anyone but myself, but that's the thing. That's the rage part. For me, one of these episodes, whether it came out or not, you're going to see that I talk about my very, very toxic achievement complex, which I think is really common amongst us fags. And while it can drive us to great heights, it is also the thing that keeps us from true satisfaction. Because we're always trying to reach something else instead of sitting within whatever it is that we already have. That's pretty obvious. This has been part of the discourse for so long at this point. But there's another element to that, which is real interesting, which is that I'm someone who lives in the moment. I really appreciate the people, things, moments, like life that I have when I have it. So you'll never hear, I really miss you from me consistently, or like, that's just not a me phrase. And so what I mean to say by that is coloring the picture of, I'm not that kind of person. So when I actually achieve something, I'm generally in the moment appreciating it. It's just that I've come to realize that because I'm overly in the moment to the point where the only thing that matters is the next day. And so if I had a really great day yesterday and achieved like my greatest dream in a day or two, or even, let's say, even a week, which is still not long, it's just faded off and now I'm on to the next thing. You know, pretty common. That's not like, it's pretty common to not really sit with your wins long enough. But I think for me, it's directly tied to that achievement complex. Whereas for other people, there's something of an achievement complex, because also capitalism does instill that in you. But when you know that your issue is that you always want to achieve greater and do more and grasp more and conquer. I don't know. It just has a unique sazón. Like, no Goya, para que lo sepan. It has like, I guess it's just the seeds of, I was going to say resentment, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It has this sort of core of, I guess I'm going to say doubt, where you just wonder foundationally if it's possible for you to ever truly be satisfied. Again, a very human element. But I feel like for queer people and for hyperfeminine men, we find so much of our joy in success because we accept or understand, or maybe even don't accept, or whatever, but we grapple with the fact that we're not desirable, and so we can't really do the small life wins appropriately. And then we also grapple with the fact that we're never fully in society. Like, we're always on the outside looking through the seeing glass, you know, so close, but yet so far, and reaching for things that are fundamentally unattainable for us. You know, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, blah, 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 blue collar job, move on, move on, move on. And so what we do is we set up these high expectations for ourselves to achieve, conquer, conquer, conquer. And whatever it is that we deem to be our path, and obviously failing short of that, you see how easily we can just get so angry and sad and blah, 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 depressed. But when we actually do achieve it, we grapple with that deep-seated root of dissatisfaction. That was really what I meant to say earlier. That was the word I was looking for. There's a core of dissatisfaction that you never know if you're going to be able to get rid of or if you're ever going to be able to overcome. And we always grapple with that when we achieve something because we're not necessarily as happy as we feel we should be. And I think that's interesting and unique. Whereas like the cisheads, I mean, they act like they won the fucking lottery when they're pregnant off of their random hookup who they've known for 2 months. Because it's easy for them to do that. They could just file down that line of what was set up for them and say, okay, well, now I'm going to have a kid and I have a partner. And even if we don't stay together, we're going to raise this kid. And now my life has purpose and it's fab. But for us, it just don't work like that. And we have always been, or have appeared to be, leaning more on the side of pro no children on purpose. Why would I do that? Life has been traumatic enough. I take care of enough people. I don't want to have to take care of anyone. I want the freedom to just be at peace, blah, 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 blah. And that's also really unique and interesting. But point being, I think that we have a very specific kind of rage. And that makes it all the more poisonous because rage really, at least in my case, takes over your life. Like, and that is tied to the dissatisfaction I'm talking about. Like, one little thing will tick me off, or one little thing will tick me into a spiral, a mental spiral, which always leads to this realization of like, I'm not happy with where my life is at or where my life is not at and the opportunities I don't have. Key word here. Opportunity. Okay? I'll circle back to that. But I end up going on this spiral that leads to the dissatisfaction recognition, that leads to the rage, because for me, at least, I have an overly high self-esteem. And so for me, it's always, bitch, they could never do what I could do. And yet they have every opportunity to do it. If I was in that fucking position, the way I would wreck these bitches don't even make no goddamn sense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not saying that that is particularly a queer, hyper feminine male lens, but that is me. I do think that a hyper feminine male lens is you're underestimating my capability, or you don't see for me what I see for me because of society and the way that you've been taught to think, specifically binaries about gender expression, whatever. Stupid shit that honestly is fucking irrelevant, and all of it is a social construct. But because you don't see for me what I see for me, now I don't get to attempt the thing that I see. I don't get to reach for that star in the sky, for that vision of my life. Fuck you. And now I have to, no. Pause. We're not going there. This is a public platform and I watch my words now because I'm an adult. But on a serious note, that sort of misalignment with the world that we live in is so integral to our experience. If you have any hyper feminine males in your life, even if you're not close to them, that cousin that's crazy and he's just so funny and da 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 da. Bitch, you're doing it. You're doing it right there. He's not fucking funny. He's a fucking human being. And he's probably just trying to make y'all laugh so he could survive. Anyways, in your bigoted ass family. Moving on. If you have any hyper feminine men in your life, feminine men, whatever, just people who fall on that side, I would really appreciate it if you would ask them, hey, what makes you angry? And then, of course, they're going to give you some light, playful answer. And then you say, no. I really want to know, like, when you really get enraged and you can't get rid of it, for a long time, weeks, months, years. What is that thing? I think you're going to be shocked at how similar to what I've expressed here today their experience will be and their thought process. What we grapple with so integrally in our lives is feeling caged in. It's like no matter how much we achieve and how much we do and how much this, that, whatever, the third, the fourth, the fifth, there's always another level beyond the plane that we've reached that has bars on it. Jail bars. Jail handles, whatever. And obviously those are the perspectives and narratives and expectations that society at large has set upon us. But the impacts of that are all too fucking real. Like, part of the reason that rage is actually literally coming to me in this moment, because I didn't recognize my own gayness, queerness, feminist, all of those things at different moments in time. But I never recognized even the first bit of that until I was already in middle school heading into high school. So I've been rageful since I was a child, is what I'm saying. And so with that being the case, I'm making sense of the fact that so much of why that it's really true what I said. The reason I was even enraged as a kid is because of the bars, the metaphorical bars that were set upon me, even in the spaces I was in then, which is mainly school, but also other kids, let's say, trying to bully me or make fun of me, and me being like, bitch, cause who the fuck you think you playing with? Like, oh, you think you're better than me. Oh, you think you got something I don't got. And that really taps into I have a view of myself, and no, I have an understanding of myself that you could never. And you think that your little small-minded way of viewing me is acceptable? Oh, no. Now I gotta really gag the bitches. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I have to be the top person in the class to be better than these people. It's more like, now I have to really achieve the vision that I see for myself of my life for me to feel satisfied in knowing that I was right about what I could achieve. Honestly, that sounded like a really overly intellectual way of saying, to prove these bitches wrong. So maybe I do really care about proving people wrong, but I guess because it's not consciously on my mind, I don't view it that way. And I am not competitive by nature. I only ever want to create and make the things that I see in my head and like achieve the standard that I set for myself. But I never think of it as standards that were put upon me. Because again, it just was from the time I was so young that it's like, I've always been a high achiever, so I don't know. But who knows? Psychologists tap in. Let me know. Anyways, on that note, thank you so much for joining me. And if no one's told you, I love you. This one, again, is for my hyper-feminine men, males, male bodies. I love you. I honor you, and most importantly, I hold space for your rage, bitch. Look into some axe throwing. Buy some plates and smash it in a park. At a time when cops aren't around. Still had to get a little saucy in the end, but I am an adult who's working on what they say in public spaces, even if it's only 5 of you listening. Please follow me on all my social media. First and foremost, YouTube. I've been saying the other ones first, but really get onto my YouTube, bitch. Like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Follow me. Your boy's is at Christopher Valentine. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Goodbye.